Are you listening? وَجَعِلُ الَّذِينَ اتَّبَعُوكَ. He speaks about a people who follow Nabi Isa alayhi salam. Tabauka, ittiba, to follow, who are therefore a Christian people. Do we follow him or do we follow Nabi Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam? Is there anyone, any schoolboy present who says that we follow Nabi Isa alayhi salam? No, we don't. We follow Nabi Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. I hope there is no misunderstanding about that. This is the ummah of Nabi Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi. This is not the ummah of Nabi Isa alayhi salam. Tell that to the schoolboy for me. So Allah is speaking to the ummah of Nabi Isa alayhi salam. He is not speaking to the ummah of Nabi Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. When he went on to say, what did he say? He said, وَجَعِلُ الَّذِينَ تَبَعُوكَ تَبَعُوكَ. You have to forgive me that I have to repeat and I repeat and I repeat again, because there are schoolboys who cannot understand. No matter what you tell them, they can't understand. And I'm going to take those who follow you, Nabi Isa alayhi salam, Jesus. وَجَعِلُ الَّذِينَ اتَّبَعُوكَ فَوْقَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا. And I'm going to raise your ummah, raise them to a position of dominance in the world. Dominance over this other part which rejects you and committed kufr against you. Who are they? They are the Jews who rejected him as the Messiah and who today have returned to Jerusalem to reclaim it as their own and have restored a bogus state of Israel and who now want to rule the world. Those who are with them in an alliance belong to them, and that is modern Western civilization. That is the United States of America with their CIA, and that is Britain and France and Germany and Europe, and that is NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. These are the ones committing kufr against him, and these are the ones in alliance with them. And I'm going to raise those who follow you over these. So this will become the dominant force in the world. Are you listening? Do you understand what the Quran is saying? If Allah spoke with an ayah mutashabiha, where you have to interpret, that's a different matter. Because when you interpret the Quran, you have to say, Allahu Alam, Allah knows best. But this is not ayah mutashabiha. This is ayah muhkama. This is plain and clear. And when Allah speaks, okay, we only have 3 minutes left. When Allah speaks, then you have to submit. So I got wrong information. I was told I have to speak until 12:45. So now we don't have enough time to complete the subject. Only 3 minutes. 12:45? Okay, fine, 12:45. And so, I'm going to raise those who follow you to a position of dominance in the world. So they become the ruling state in the world. إِلَى يَوْمِ الْقِيَامَةِ إِلَى يَوْمِ الْقِيَامَةِ. And when I raise them to that position of dominance, they will remain in that position of dominance until the end of the world. So this ummah is not going to dominate the world. This ummah is not going to rule the world. This ummah is not going to be the most powerful force in the world in Akhirul Zaman. That did not come from the Quran. The Quran tells us that those who follow Nabi Isa alayhi salam, they are the ones who will be blessed by Allah and raised to a position of dominance in the world, in Akhirul Zaman. That is in the Quran. Tell it to the schoolboys. You have to submit what is in the Quran, submit to it. So when Nabi Isa alayhi salam returns, yes, he will establish a khilafah state. A khilafah state. And that khilafah state will be in Jerusalem. And he will rule the world from Jerusalem. Nabi Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam said that. He said that when Nabi Isa alayhi salam returns, he will return as Hakim. Al-Hakim, the one who rules. The most powerful in the world would be him. He would be the ruling state in the world. And he would be Al-Hakim Al-Adil. He would rule with justice. This is what Nabi Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam said. He never said that Imam al-Mahdi will rule the world. No, Tehran has to wake up. Yes, Iran has to wake up. But we must speak to Iran respectfully. They are our Shia brothers. They are wrong on this subject, but we address them respectfully. Allah says, "Qulu lin-nasi husna." Speak to people in a graceful way. So then, what is the role of this ummah in Akhirul Zaman? When the angel came to Maryam alayhi salam to inform her, you're going to have a baby boy, the angel further informed her that the baby boy will be the Messiah. And she is a learned girl, she knows. Every Jew knows about the Messiah. The angel went on to inform her something more, that Allah was going to teach him. Allah was going to teach him. Teach him what? Listen carefully. وَيُعَلِّمُهُ الْكِتَابِ. Allah was going to teach him the Quran. But the Quran is not revealed as yet. The Quran will come only 600 years afterwards. وَيُعَلِّمُهُ الْكِتَابِ. Allah will teach him the Quran. And then what? وَالْحِكْمَةِ. And Allah will give him wisdom. And then, with Torah, and Allah will teach him the Torah. Wal Injil, and Allah will teach him the Gospel. Take this verse of the Quran home with you. Ponder over it. Allah sent down the Quran لِقَوْمِ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ, to a people who think. And I want to say to Mombasa, a people who think are also a people who read. And Allah says He taught us with the kitab, a book. And He says when He taught us with the pen, عَلَّمَ بِالْقَلَمِ. But I find it strange, this is my first time in Mombasa, and I find it strange, at least that part of Mombasa which I am meeting doesn't seem to be interested in books. No, the phone is the most important thing now. You communicate everything with the phone, and then eventually you become illiterate. You never read, you never write. So Dajjal will make you an illiterate people if you do not read books. And Allah taught with a book, eventually you will not be able to read even the Quran. So now let us return to the verse. And we now recognize Imam al-Mahdi. وَيُعَلِّمُهُ الْكِتَابِ. Allah will teach him the book, the Quran. وَالْحِكْمَةِ. And Allah will give him wisdom. وَالتَّوْرَاةِ. And Allah will teach him the Torah. وَالْإِنْجِيلَ. And Allah will teach him the Gospel. When we analyze this, we realize that He's speaking about two ummahs here. The ummah which follows the Quran, the ummah which follows the Torah and the Injil, two ummahs, and in between the word of wisdom occurs. So when Nabi Isa alayhi salam returns, he has a tremendously difficult task. He has to be a guide, a supreme guide for two ummahs. The ummah of Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, because Allah taught him the Quran. Allah didn't teach the Quran to others, to any Khalifa or any Imam. Allah taught the Quran to him. So he is the supreme guide for the Quran in Akhir al-Zaman. But Allah did not send him to this ummah, because the Quran says, وَرَسُولًا إِلَى بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ. وَرَسُولًا إِلَى بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ. That Nabi Isa alayhi salam was sent to Banu Israel. Ya Bani Israel, Inni Rasulullahi ilaykum. O Banu Israel, I am the messenger of Allah sent to you. مصدقا لما بين يدي من التوراة ومبشرا برسول يأتي من بعد اسمه أحمد. O Banu Israel, I have come with that which preserves the truth which was sent down in the Torah. I have not come to change the Torah. I have come to preserve the Torah. And I have come to give you the good news of a Nabi, a prophet who will come after me. Ismuhu Ahmad. Why does he say Ahmad when Allah says Muhammad? Have you asked that question? 4 times in the Quran, Allah refers to our Nabi by the name Muhammad 4 times. And he knows that. Nabi Isa knows that. Because Allah taught him the Quran. So why does he depart from the name given in the Quran, Muhammad, to use another name, Ahmad? Why? The answer is, it's a secret name. It's the name of love. When you have someone you really love, you don't address her by her name. You give her a secret name, private between you. It's a manifestation of love. And this is his love for Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that he uses this name, a name of love, Ahmad. And so now, we know that there will be 2 ummahs in Akhir al-Zaman. And he will be ruling over 1 ummah, while he is the guide of both. So then what about this ummah? It is now plain and clear as daylight that Allah will have to raise someone who will be the leader of this ummah. And that is Imam al-Mahdi. And that between this ummah and that ummah, there will be the love and affection that there is between this Nabi and this Nabi. He refers to him as Ahmad. And that is an expression of love. So even when he comes back to this world, he would not say Muhammad. He would say Ahmad. Because that's my special name for him. And what does Nabi Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam say? He says that when he dies, Nabi Isa alayhi salam, you will pray over his body and he will be buried next to me. The government of Saudi Arabia cannot stop it. Tell that to Muhammad bin Salman. You cannot stop it. The United States cannot prevent it. The Security Council cannot prevent it. When Nabi Isa alayhi salam dies, he will be buried next to me. That is the bond of love that exists between these 2 men. And so this ummah will be led by Imam al-Mahdi. And this ummah will be led by the Nabi of Allah, Nabiullah, Ruhullah, Nabi Isa alayhi salam. But he would rule the world, because that is the function of the Messiah. And the holy state, or the Khilafah state in Jerusalem, would be the ruling state in the world, because that is what occurred with Nabi Dawood alayhi salam and Nabi Sulaiman alayhi salam. And it was when holy Israel collapsed, when Sulaiman alayhi salam died, everything collapsed. And the Israelites did not know why it happened. And they were crying. And in their pain and suffering, Allah said to them, this is my promise, that I will send someone who will be known as Al-Masih, and who will bring back the golden age, restore the holy state in Jerusalem, and it will once again be the ruling state in the world. And so when Nabi Isa alayhi salam returns, this promise, this divine promise is to be fulfilled. But in the meantime, we have Al-Masih al-Dajjal false Messiah who wants to impersonate the true Messiah who brings the Jews back to the Holy Land, who restores the state of Israel in the Holy Land. And now he wants the big war, the nuclear war, the Armageddon, the Malhama. Why does he want it? Simple. He wants the two most powerful forces in the world should knock out each other. On this side is NATO, and on this side is Russia and China. So he's hoping that there'll be mutual destruction. And after the Great War is over, and most of mankind in the North Atlantic is gone, finished. The United States and Canada, finished. Nobody can live there anymore. Europe, finished. That now Israel can take over and become the ruling state in the world. That is the plan. And then he will appear in Jerusalem and he will say, Ana al-Masih, I am the Messiah. But you and I would know he is not the Messiah. He is Dajjal. But the schoolboy will say, oh, but the Prophet said that Dajjal sees with one eye. And this fellow has two eyes, so he can't be Dajjal. That's what the schoolboy would say. So then, we now understand that there is going to be two ummahs in Akhirul Zaman. The ummah of Nabi Isa alayhi salam, which will replace this bogus state of Israel with the true Khilafah state based in Jerusalem. And the other Khilafah state will be in Mecca. And the Amir or the head of this Khilafah state would be Imam Mahadi. This Khilafah state has to be restored. Why? Because this Ummah is the one which will liberate Jerusalem. It is a Muslim army which will liberate Jerusalem. And so we have to have the Khilafah state and we have to have the Amir. Let us end with the words of Nabi Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. The mission of this Ummah in Akhir al-Zaman. He says, لَتَقَاتِلُنَّ الْيَهُودِ. You will most certainly fight the Jews. I was in the State University of New York, in Stony Brook, and I lectured on this subject, and I quoted this hadith, and the Jews were sitting right in front of me. And they went and complained to the rector, but the university could do nothing, because this is the word of the Prophet. لَتُقَاتِلُنَّ الْيَهُودِ. You will most certainly fight the Jews. وَلَتَقْتُلُنَّهُمْ. And you will defeat them. And that will be the liberation of Jerusalem. حَتَّى يَقُولُ الْحَجَرُ. At that time even the rocks and the stones will speak. يَا Muslim, هَذَا يَهُودِيٌّ وَرَائِي فَتَعَالَى فَقْتُلْ. There's a Jew hiding behind me. We're not talking about those Jews who joined with us to oppose the oppressor. These are our brothers. We're talking about those Jews who are the oppressors. There's a Jew hiding behind me. فَتَعَالَ فَقْتُلْ. Come and kill him. And so this Ummah has a role in the mission in Akhir al-Zaman, and it needs a leader, and he is Imam al-Mahdi. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين آمين.